Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals. John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise.
Clowns can get away with murder.
And Epstein's shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Snapped. Sign up now at peacocktv.com. Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals like John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise.
He said to me, clowns can get away with murder.
Dr. Death, the undoctored story.
This guy's dangerous.
And Epstein's shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
There was this whole other world going on.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Buried in the Backyard and Snapped. And with the Dateline 24/7 channel that's always on,
did you want her dead?
You can't not obsess. Sign up now at peacocktv.com.
Hey, babe, the burgers are about ready.
These are delicious. You've really mastered your grilling technique. The flavor in these is really unique, though. Is this all beef?
It's a little of this and that.
Jen is going to love these. Wait, where is she? I thought she was here earlier.
Oh, I may have misinterpreted when you said, let's have Jen for lunch.
We are recording this episode on the 4th of July. We just had some barbecue, which, and I mean that in the northern sense, I guess, because the southern sense is, something different.
Pulled pork and brisket.
But we did
what?
Some, yeah.
We didn't have barbecue.
That's what we're saying.
I know.
We had a cookout.
Oh, we had a cookout. We can say that.
We ate hamburgers. What the hell are you talking about?
Never mind. There are some people listening who know exactly what we're talking about.
We did not have any barbecue at all. I don't know what she's talking about.
Just one of those
we
things.
cooked it on the barbie.
So we had some Impossible burgers and some sausage. And the hamburgers was actually a request that John said, make sure we have hamburgers and Southern comfort.
Well, yes, the 4th of July. Why wouldn't you eat hamburgers?
Well, was that for the 4th of July, or was that for
Are you not American? Is that where we're going? You not proud to be here?
Proud to be an American.
You rather?
Where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died and gave their life for me, and I proudly stand up.
Man, that song was popular back in the early 2000s.
You know what it sounds like?
What?
Remember the Budweiser commercial? Real men of genius.
Yeah. That was funny.
Thank you to all of our service members who have fought to keep us independent. And for all of you non-Americans out there, we appreciate you listening to us, but happy Independence Day to our American listeners. Go have a beer and a hot dog.
Yeah.
Go cook out on the grill.
Go eat, drink, be merry, and buy shit on Amazon, because that's what we are as Americans.
And remember to don't take for granted the amount of fingers and toes that you have. Be careful when you're lighting fireworks.
It's like, where is she going with that statement?
I saw something online that was like, little does someone know that there was a post from yesterday. Today is the last day that they will have all of their fingers. But seriously, be safe with that shit, because, it's literally explosive. It's not just something to look at.
Well, bottle rockets are different. You can shoot them at each other because they don't explode.
What show was I watching where someone...
Roman candles. You can shoot them at each other, not bottle rockets.
What was
Don't shoot bottle rockets.
There was a show...
Take John's advice.
There was a show or a movie that someone shot someone with a bottle rocket in the dick, and they couldn't father children or something.
We just talked about a story that someone put a sparkler in his pee hole.
No, it wasn't that. It was in a movie or a show. I don't remember which one.
Even the wood, because the stem is okay.
Anyway, can we just thank our newest Patreon members?
Yes,
because we have quite a few this week.
Welcome.
Big week, so thank you to Jade, Anaya, Lara, Mary Claire, and Emily.
Mary Claire or Marie Claire?
Mary Claire.
So wait,
It's
Jade,
Diet Coke and Southern Comfort.
Jade, Anaya, Mary Claire,
Lara
Lara,
like Lara Spencer.
and Emily.
Emily.
Emily with a Y or IE or EE.
Why?
Jade. That's a
Jade.
beautiful name.
I have a friend named Jade.
Thank you for everyone joining. Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you.
And we have a special surprise shot today. This is a request from Isabel.
Thank you, Isabel.
And
Can I call you Izzy?
I had this frozen, but hopefully it's still at least cold.
Okay.
You almost didn't even play the bongos
I know
for our friend here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Izzy. I don't know if it's okay if I call you Izzy. Maybe I'll call you Belle
This
or
looks
Bella.
like John's dehydrated pee.
Mine's a little more orangish.
sounds like you might have a problem.
Did you forget the Did you forget the melody or the rhythm?
She forgot the words.
You forget the rhythm there? I think it's in 125 BPM. I don't know.
I can't remember. This is amazing.
Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't the rhythm.
It was today.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
That's
Thanks,
embarrassing.
Isabel.
Limoncello?
It is limoncello. Technically, Isabel requested a lemon drop, but I saw it at the store and I was like, ooh, this could be nice.
What kind of liquor is that?
Limoncello.
Oh, what's cello?
Limoncello is basically
Italian.
it's vodka with lemon rind and sugar, and it's best put in the freezer.
It's a palate cleanser.
It's a dessert drink.
It is a dessert wine.
Love it. It would have been better if it was
My pen.
true frozen, but I kept the bottle in the freezer. So our drink this evening is Diet Coke and SoCo, as they say.
I tried some caramel flavored SoCo recently.
Caramel.
Yeah, it was salted caramel and it was really good.
I bet that would be really good with an Angry Orchard.
It probably would be.
Like
But
how Fireball's good with Angry Orchard.
I've never had plain SoCo.
It's just whiskey, right?
No, this tastes different.
Well, it's got Diet Coke in it.
I know that, but like
I don't know what's the you're from the South. What's the deal with SoCo?
I don't know what SoCo is.
Southern Comfort.
Okay, number one, no one calls it SoCo
yes,
down
they
here.
do. Oh, maybe not down here, but that's a thing.
And
SoCo.
number two,
Like this is the whole barbecue thing all over again.
no one ever calls it SoCo down
Okay,
here.
maybe
Is that number one and number
maybe
two?
dudes don't call it SoCo, but I think ladies
No.
we like to breathe.
Can I have a SoCo and Coke?
Not down here. This is a really interesting story. Unfortunately, there's not too much about it for whatever reason, but the killer, it is a guy, he actually died not too long ago. So this is a crazy story. Anyway, if you're new here, this is the Talk Murder Me podcast. Welcome. I put all my sources, photos, and videos on talkmurder.com. There's also a blog there that you can read some true crime if you're interested. We're also filming this on YouTube, and I usually put the YouTube videos out, the first episode out on Wednesday, and then the second one when I get yelled at by people. So the anime one's still not up yet. But those are on YouTube for you guys. And you can follow along with us, like I said, talkmurder.com. This is episode 241.
Almost as many as the years that America has been independent. This is our 245th Independence Day.
I did not know that. So,
I think.
shit. We might want to ask Reverend Al Sharpton.
Shut up, John. Well, it's definitely ending in a 5 because 2021 minus 1776.
It ends in a 5. That's close enough. It's probably like 100 years off.
No, maybe it's 255th.
We're going to South Baltimore in 1996. This is Kimberly Spicer. She is 26 years old. If you want to try to describe her for us.
Isn't that a little bit before The Wire came out? Didn't The Wire come out in like 2000 or 1999?
I want to say it was 90s. I think that was a 90s sitcom.
I wouldn't call
Not
it
a
a sitcom.
Oh, no, sitcom. What's a sitcom?
Comedy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sitcom. Yeah,
With like a laugh track.
It's literally sitcom. Literally translates to situational comedy.
Okay, it's a.
Oh,
I didn't know.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's what it stands
No,
for.
The Wire is a
Drama.
police procedural or procedural.
drama.
Well, that's what they call them nowadays. Police procedural show. That's what they're called.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that like Law and Order too?
Yeah, Law and Order and CSI and stuff like that.
It's a great show.
Anyway, this is Kimberly Spicer, 26 years old. Kimberly Spicer gets addicted to drugs. Her drug of choice was heroin and crack. The crack epidemic of the late 70s and 80s, this is the rollover effect from that. After the CIA introduced crack to the inner cities, everyone got addicted. And now...
I love how you're just casually throwing that in there, saying if anyone notices. When the government introduced this.
Yeah.
Oh, I like heard him and I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't connect until I was like, oh, wait.
So she is, like a lot of people, she is addicted to heavy drugs, mostly crack cocaine. It's cheap. It's a form of cocaine. What you do is you take cocaine, you turn the stove on to 350 degrees, you take 2 quarts of water, and you mix in...
How do you know the exact measurement?
I was waiting. Are you guys going to just let me have it?
Yeah, I was going to let you, but in my head, I'm like, what the fuck?
People were like writing it down. All right. Anyway.
It is not a joke, John.
Her mother...
It's a real thing.
Her mother says, quote, Kim had her problems, but she was a battler. She was always struggling with her problems and hoping to turn the corner, end quote. Now, she runs into this guy on Washington Street. His name is Joe Metheny. Anybody heard of this guy?
No.
Joe Metheny is the killer tonight. He is also addicted to drugs.
I'm so confused of what this has to do with the 4th of July, but I'll wait. I'll be patient.
Well, one of the... it's got a lot to do with the 4th of July.
Okay. I trust you.
Was it like the Baltimore drug party instead of the Boston Tea Party?
Okay, so this guy, Joe Metheny... Huh?
I don't know. I'm thinking.
We're going to get to her murder in specific detail in a little bit. But... her older sister, which was a bartender in South Baltimore, actually knew the killer, and they actually recently met. But this killer, Joe Metheny is his name, he's a serial killer. Well, they didn't know that at the time, but he would always come into these bars, and he was always buying crack cocaine and getting really drunk. He was just a regular laborer by day. He's a forklift operator.
Okay.
But he seemed to be a really nice guy. And Kimberly's older sister also knew Joe, and she said this about him, quote, he was so mannerly, saying thank you and please all the time. My sister once even said to me she felt sorry for him, end quote. Now, we're going to get to the murders and everything else, but she is found dead on December 15th. This is Joe Metheny right here, if you want to describe this guy for our audience. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
What is on the center of his belly?
Tattoo or a scar?
No, that's him pushing his fat together. He's morbidly obese.
Did you know? Oh my gosh. Did you know that the term morbidly obese did not show up until the time of the gastric bypass was invented, because it was a term that was first used by the inventor of the gastric bypass surgery?
No, I didn't know that. I don't understand why it's morbid. I mean, I understand death, you can die, but that's such a morbid word, right? Such a just
Well,
morbidly obese.
Well, yeah. It was a term that was created to entice people who were
I see. To
kind of be, they're morbidly obese. You need to have this surgery.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So who you're looking at now, and this is obviously one of the most infamous pictures of this serial killer.
Okay, so he's a large and in charge dude, but he's got like big reflective sunglasses like we have. Actually, he looks like the one that we have.
He is huge.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's got to be 500 pounds.
Yeah, I think he was 480 actually. His stomach, and that's not a scar. That's him pushing. He's almost like got two stomachs, and he's pushing them together. Like a butt hole, kind of, the butt comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does look like a butt.
I think that's what he's doing. I mean, I didn't see where he had a scar or anything.
No, I think you're right.
But he's got a huge belly. Go to talkmore.com to see this photo. I think this is a prison photo. Because, I mean, look at the side. You see they're kind of lined up.
No, it can't be.
No?
Because why would he have those sunglasses on?
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. He's got these big sunglasses on. And you won't notice, but this guy was actually in the Army. I mean, there's a lot of veterans that get out and get big, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
This story tonight, do you remember the Anthony Sowell story, the Cleveland Strangler,
Yes.
where he was getting high with all these prostitutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously he didn't care because he was storing them in his house. This guy, it's the same. It's almost the same with this guy and even the Kendall Francis story that we've done. It's drugs. This is a drug story. You know what I'm saying?
You say it like it's a love story, but a drug story.
Drugs are the gateway drug to murder.
Drugs, I mean...
Get it?
It's fucking... We're going to talk about the murders here in a second, but I really wanted you to see what this guy looks like. Now, in July 1994, he is out of the military, and I'm going to go through his whole background here in a second.
Is that the year he got out?
No, that's not the year he got out, but that is the year when and this is what he says, his quote, bloodlust, end quote, kicks in. 1994, July 1994.
I was going to ask if this had to do with the 4th of July because he was in a hot dog eating contest.
Oh.
No, the hot dog eating contest, the winners are usually like the skinny people.
I know. Joey Chestnut just beat his world record today.
Joey Chestnut?
That's his name.
How do you know this?
Because it popped up on my phone. He ate 76 hot dogs today.
Like with the buns?
Yeah, you dip it in water and
No
then you
fucking
eat
way.
it. Yeah.
Sometimes I
How
think
big
I can
is
eat
he?
76
I don't
hot dogs.
No, dude, 76?
I
Is
feel
that the
like-
world record?
It is now. He beat it today.
Is he an American?
Yeah.
Go America! Hell yeah!
America.
How do you
Fuck yeah.
How do you celebrate your Independence Day?
Downing dogs.
Brought to you by Nathan's.
Does he fucking get paid?
Yeah, you win
much?
a prize. I don't know how much. We'd have to look it up.
So it was National Chicken Wing Day earlier or this week or last week.
I remember you were talking about that.
Just guess how many chicken wings would be in that world record.
245.
It was in the 400s.
What?
Wow.
Yes. In like under an hour.
Chicken boneless?
No, wings.
Chicken wings.
So not boneless.
Not boneless.
How do you guys eat your chicken wings?
I know you like the
I like flats.
flats.
Wait, what's flats?
Not the drumstick part. The part that's like the two
remembered.
bone.
Huh?
Yeah. I was like, you have a
Oh, you don't like the legs or whatever?
I like the
Correct.
flat part.
that has the two bones.
Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of meat right there in between
Yeah,
those
you
little bones.
you
Yeah.
just-
That's like the really tender meat, too.
Yeah.
I
I think I like flats more, but I'll eat both.
I do not like chicken wings unless they are dry rubbed. I don't like the sauces, man. I don't like all those. I don't like getting messy, getting dirty.
I
I,
mean,
hate
I
that
don't-
We
shit.
need to go to
Mind
Swig and
it.
Swine in Somerville.
Oh, really?
They were just on the Today Show this morning. Actually, they were just talking
All
about.
right, go America. That's twice.
That's Somerville. Somerville, Swig and Swine, but their
There's
chicken
one in
wings are
West
so
Ashley too.
good. Is it?
I didn't know that they had dry rub. Mm-hmm. I do home team. That is the thing to
We
get.
gotta get on the
Okay,
story. What do
sorry.
y'all do? All right, so this is Joe Metheny. Now he says his bloodlust, and that's the term he used, kicks in July 1994. And at the time he was a truck driver. He was living in. Actually, this is a quote from him, and he says, "quote." This is after he's arrested. He says, "quote." I was living in South Baltimore, Maryland with my crack-addicted old lady and my 6-year-old son, end quote.
Old lady meaning his wife.
Yeah, his wife, yeah.
I don't like that as a term. That's just mean.
No, not old.
Yeah, I know.
Old lady.
I know that it's a thing that men say about their wives. And
Why don't you like that? You're my old lady.
you fucking say that to me, you watch what happens.
What the fuck? Why?
She doesn't like it.
One, I'm not old. You are.
Oh,
That's not what it means.
I'm just saying.
it's better than saying ball and chain.
But it's weird how my old lady refers to as a wife, but when you say old man, it refers to a father.
I don't like when y'all say my husband making me property. Okay.
Well, some of us don't have that problem, so.
He comes home one day. This is in July 1994, the 1st of July. And his home is completely empty. And he's a truck driver, so he's gone for weeks at a time. And we have a lot of truck driver listeners, actually. So keep on hauling.
I heard it that they some truck drivers really like it when the kids ask them to honk their horns.
I used to do that all the time.
We used to do that.
Like,
We'd be on
Yeah.
the back of the bus and ask them to pull their horn.
So he comes home July 1994, empty house, no son, no wife. And at the time, his job, a truck driver, which at the time wasn't making a lot of that money was going to his wife's drug addiction. I didn't see where he was addicted to drugs at this time, but it really started spiraling for him at this one specific point, July 1994. He comes home, no wife, no son. They have left. He finds out that his ex actually moves in with another man. With his son, across town, another drug addict man. Now, the son is actually taken away by the state very soon after this. But Joe Metheny, he ain't just going to stand for that bullshit. He's going to go find his wife and deliver justice, if you will. And
Vigilante justice.
he heard through the grapevine that she and her new man are now living under a bridge, a specific bridge.
Oh, are they in a van down by the river?
So he goes to this specific bridge right here. And this bridge, this very same bridge, is the Patapsco River. Do you know where that's at, Nicole?
Nope.
So this bridge right here, when Joe Metheny gets caught, he claims he has dumped, I think, 7 or 8 bodies off of this specific bridge right here. He goes down to this bridge, and at the time, there was a homeless camp, a band of homeless men living here. Now, he's going to find his wife, and most likely he's going to kill her. He is pissed the fuck off. He goes down to the bridge to find his wife and confronts these homeless people, asking them where his wife is. Now, this is from Metheny versus the state. So this is the exact literature that you're reading from that.
They were not there, he said, but the 2 homeless motherfuckers they got high with were down there. They were passed out on some old stinking mattress, and that's where they were when I left, except they were dead from being chopped up. Ooh.
This guy in a rage.
Is that the actual murder weapon?
No.
Okay, it's just
You think they would clean the blood off? What the
it's like, wow, that's quite the image of a bloody axe.
He goes down to find his wife living under a bridge with her new man, and he asked these homeless people where they were, and they gave him some sass or whatever. He goes back and he gets a hand axe, and he goes back and confronts 2 homeless people and chops them up there in front of all the other homeless people.
Just random people?
Yeah, just random homeless people. Okay. Chops these 2 people up. He goes down under the bridge, confronts his band of homeless men, and takes the hand axe that he went and got and chops these men up alive. Okay. And in fact, he said, quote, except they were dead from being chopped up. He chops these homeless people up, and then he is still in a rage, and honestly, he's most likely on some sort of drug to be doing this. He quickly leaves after killing these two homeless people, and he runs into a local prostitute that he knows. The prostitute knows his wife and may know her whereabouts. Now, this is the same day right after he kills these two homeless people. And this is what he says happened.
She acted like she didn't know, so I beat the hell out of her and raped her ass, then killed her.
Like, so casual about it.
So this is the same day. Is 1st of July. I think it was July 2nd. He didn't know the exact day, but July 2nd, 1994. He is a truck driver, and he is... I saw reports that he himself was homeless, but I'm not sure he was fully homeless at that point. Obviously, he had a house with his wife, but this may have happened. He may have become homeless right after she left. Okay. I don't know. I couldn't really find that information, but he goes down there, obviously high on something, kills two homeless people, literally is walking back up to get on Washington Street to leave, sees a prostitute that he knows, and then, quotes, raped her ass, then killed her, throws her in the water, okay, and then, still pissed off, trying to find his wife. If you want to read this.
But the bloody spree didn't end there, according to the cannibal killer. He then persuaded another woman down under the bridge and viciously murdered her too.
With cases like these, the police will say that, oh, he may be lying about this or making it up. Here's the thing. If they don't have to do other homicide reports, they won't. These are prostitutes. These are drug addicts. They're not going to go out of their way to solve this murder.
Because there's a lot of crime in Baltimore.
Exactly. So 2 prostitutes die this day. No one knows none the wiser at all. And never will. Which
is sad. Well, I mean, their families will know probably.
No, I mean, not really. Prostitutes, drug addicts, they're probably not even from Baltimore.
From their family.
Yeah. Well, they're still
someone's family.
Yeah.
What you're looking at now is a photo of him showing police where some of the bodies were. Now, what we're going to read now is from The Sun, a newspaper. He actually tries to hide that body, the prostitute, either one of those prostitutes. So right now he's killed 2 homeless people and 2 prostitutes in the same day under the same bridge.
On July 2nd.
On July 2nd. It may have been 4th, but he didn't know.
Oh, God, I feel like I can see where this is going.
Okay, just listen. He buries one of the prostitutes and is looking for a place to bury the other. And he sees a fisherman. And the fisherman, acts like he is none of his business, but, he's a witness. You got to take care of him, too.
Oh, yeah. It's like Red Dead Revolver. You got to kill the witness before they go tell the popo.
So this is from...
You're so invested. You're so invested in the
I don't think they were called the popo back then.
Okay. The law.
The law.
They were the law in that video game.
This is from Metheny versus State. The state of Maryland, actually, obviously.
I grabbed a steel pipe and ran down on him and laid his head wide open, said Metheny. Covered in blood, he then tied all the bodies to the rocks and dumped them in the Patapsco River. He had killed 5 people in 7 hours, what he called a very busy night.
I'd say.
So he's a spree killer.
Not necessarily. He was just really pissed off.
Well, tomato.
A spree killer.
Tomato.
Yeah.
A spree killer won't stop killing until they get caught.
You know what I do all the time is when I try to text or jabber that at work, and that doesn't translate when you type it. Tomato.
Well, that's what I say. That's what I say. I say tomato.
The names of the homeless men were Randall Brewer and Randy Piker. Now, I saw in one report that he claimed they were killed over a, quote, turf dispute between rival homeless camps, end quote. And I think what happened is this, because they arrested Joe Metheny. Now, this is before the 2 actual murders of the females we're going to talk about, but that he did later. This is the first murders he's done, and he did 5 at once. You know what I'm saying? But he was arrested, but there was not enough evidence. Or either that or they didn't really give a shit.
For any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's like 5 opportunities here.
I know, but the police believed that the homeless killings, at least, were because of the turf war between the 2 homeless camps. You know, these are camps of tents, right?
Gotcha.
And they believe someone else, some other homeless person, did this. And he said he didn't do it, but then later when he's arrested, he claimed he did. Okay. Both men were, quote, mauled with a woodcutter's axe, end quote. He was acquitted, like I said, because of reasonable doubt, because they thought another homeless man killed him. Now let's talk about the background of Joe Metheny. This is a photo of him right here.
You look scary.
Maniacal.
Yeah, if you want to describe this.
So
He's a big boy.
he's a big dude. And he's got his arms out, but like
They're
kinda
covered in tattoos.
curled in, and he's got his
Like a
mouth open.
Like
yeah,
a bear,
he looks
yeah.
like a bear.
Like a bear, yeah.
Yeah, he
His
does.
mouth open like he wants to eat.
And his eyes like squinch shut.
Like a crazy eye.
Yeah. Yeah, he like the bear. Yeah, you
Oh my
guys
God, look
are
at the
right.
size of his ankles. He doesn't have ankles.
You know what they're called? Cankles?
Ankles, yeah.
Knee ankles? Cankles. Yeah, he's a big dude. Huge. Imagine, I mean, so there's 2 murders he was convicted for. And they were both drug addicts. At least one was a prostitute. So why I'm saying that is 90 pounds max for these women. Very skinny, especially on the drugs and everything. So this guy weighing 500 fucking pounds on top of someone he's 5 times larger than, it is literally like getting mauled by a polar bear. I mean, it is.
Like, I'm not trying to fat shame because I have
shit.
no place doing that, but I mean, nobody does. But could you imagine, if he,
That's why I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying,
No,
think about it.
no, but,
They're
like,
getting
you said-
crushed too.
You said
Yeah.
he died recently. Like, who's going to be a pallbearer for this man?
Holy fuck!
It's a good question.
Not me.
Not, I mean, like,
I guess all the other prison inmates, they're all big.
I think that the
like, do you, or do you just have like a cart? Like,
Well,
this is
no.
a serious question.
No,
Do you
he
just
was in the military, so he should get some type of military burial, I imagine, unless
Yeah.
that's taken from him. I don't know.
I don't know if that would apply if
Oh,
you're a convicted
I don't know.
murderer.
But did you not have, like, do you have a wheelie thing? Like what if you,
Like
no, this is a serious
hand
question.
truck.
And an extra large casket.
Yeah, he'll have to have an
It
extra
may be
large
like a
casket.
hydraulic system on it or something. I don't know. Well,
Maybe.
no, I don't know.
This is a serious
I think
question.
you gotta wheel him on a cart.
See, when I die, I don't want to be in a casket and carry down the church steps. I want you guys to build a lazy river and
I wanna be cremated.
have me float down ever so peacefully
To where?
to the hole in the ground.
Oh, okay.
Like the water will be actually funneled into the hole, and I'll just plop in there.
And you'll drown?
Like a water slide?
No, I'll already be dead, Jen. No, not a water slide, a lazy river, just very slow and
Yeah,
lazy.
but you like put your water. Do you?
Do you want us to go down to the lazy river, like, with you in little floats and just hang out with you for a little
Yeah,
bit?
you don't have to carry me. Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, just hang out. Put some sunglasses on me. Put, whatever, cigarette in my mouth. I guess I should start smoking. There ain't nothing to lose.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of morbid to think about this, but I don't know if I would want to be buried here or back home in Massachusetts.
All right, this guy.
I haven't really given much thought. I need to do will. Like that's.
I
an
thought about
important
that
thing.
recently too. That I
I
need
ain't
to
got
start
nothing
that.
to give. You can have this microphone. No, actually, I don't want you to have it.
No, I could totally see that. Like he's sitting in his little meeting, and
for Jen Collins.
And Jen can have the pop filter. No, I don't want her to have that. And he'll like think of like different things that he thinks I'm worthy of having. And then he'd be like, actually, I don't want her to have anything.
No, I would give them to you.
Just kidding.
But then there would be a clause that says you have to give them back.
I was just gonna say, he'll like give it, and be like, and Jennifer Collins, he has left this for you. And then like there's like a clause that says like she can hold it in her hands for exactly 37 seconds, and then he'll ask for it back.
All right, so who you're looking at now is Joe Metheny, a little bit about his background. At the time of the two murders we're about to talk about, of the two drug addict friends of his, females, he was a forklift driver. This is after his wife leaves him. He was making $7 an hour at a pallet company. He was also a heroin addict. He drank Southern Comfort. He thought that was important enough to mention in his confession for some reason.
We have many different kinds of whiskey now in our liquor closet.
Lovely.
He
I like that you called it a liquor closet.
At this point, it's worthy of a closet.
What did I was like, what did Anthony Sowell drink? But that was like malt liquor.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah,
That
we
was
had that
worse.
Cobra drink. That was
Cobra,
disgusting.
King Cobra.
Jesus
You know
Christ.
what I found out recently? I'm sorry. This is not for the podcast, but my mom.
He was a Marine. He was in the forces too.
Yeah, he was.
Oh man.
My mom's friend who lives in Mount Pleasant, her son-in-law installs beer lines. So I was like, oh my gosh, I should get his contact so he can put a beer line in my bar.
What the
so I
fuck's
can
a
have
beer
it.
line?
Like for a keg?
Yeah. Because I was thinking about
That's
doing that.
sweet. That
I
would
don't
be
know how
awesome.
much it would cost me, but like I was thinking about doing that. It's not a priority. It's on my later list.
I mean, it can't be that expensive.
Well, you have to have refrigerant and everything too.
You just said, I don't know why I thought of this. I remember when I was sent to military school, like when I was in high school, these dudes would take the tube out of the air conditioner and suck up that refrigerant, that Freon.
Puffing.
And literally, I'll
can
never
kill you.
I know.
Yeah. Didn't we watch a video about that?
This guy, I'll never forget. This dude fell on the ground, and we thought he was fucking dead. And luckily, he woke back up. But I was like, dude, and he was like, "You want to try this? This is great." I was like, "You're
Fuck
fucking
no.
stupid."
Weren't we watching a video when we were going?
I remember watching the Whip It thing.
That's what I was thinking of. The Whip It.
I was like, "You're
That's-
fucking stupid." Oh shit!
It was like the compressed air.
Yeah,
right?
he was in his truck.
It's
doing
the
that.
same thing.
Yeah, what was that? Anyway, who you're looking at now is Joe Metheny, forklift driver, $7 an hour. He works at a pallet company.
I feel like I've seen this image before.
The air we breathe, the water we drink, the soil that grows food for our families. These basic elements are essential to healthy, happy lives. America's corn growers think so too. Across the country, they're pitching in every day and doing the work to produce food and fuel that is healthy in a sustainable way. Go to ncga.com to learn more about how corn farmers grow a more sustainable future for us all. That's ncga.com.
Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals. John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise,
Clowns can get away with murder.
and Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Snapped. Sign up now at peacocktv.com. Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals like John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise,
He said to me, clowns can get away with murder.
Dr. Death, the undoctored story,
This guy's dangerous.
and Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
There was this whole other world going on.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Buried in the Backyard and Snapped. And with the Dateline 24/7 channel that's always on,
Did you want her dead?
you can't not obsess. Sign up now at peacocktv.com.
Yeah, maybe. This is really important. At some point, and he doesn't get specifics. Like I said, there's hardly not a lot on the story, which is crazy. But at some point during the middle 90s, so it started in 1994 in July, he kills 5 people in a row. And then he goes kind of a few years killing every once in a while type of thing. But at some point, he is homeless. And he's living with a band of homeless people. Now, this is extremely important to remember.
Okay.
He is homeless. Okay.
Which is sad.
Well, yeah, exactly. But there's a point. Now, when he was a forklift driver, he is technically homeless, but he's working at this company. And this company, actually, let's Google Earth it right now because I kind of want to see where it's at, if you guys don't mind. Do you guys mind?
Mm-mm. I wonder why he chose the drugs he did. Like, he could have chosen meth because it went with his name.
Stupid.
Meth head methany.
I mean, it works.
That's kind of a good point. He was living at 3200 James Street, and I'm showing the Google Earth right now, but he was living here. This is the pallet company at the time. This is 1996.
So he was living and working there?
Yeah, so how it would work is he was a forklift driver, and there was a small trailer at the south end of the pallet company. And honestly, I think it may still be a pallet company because these kind of looks like pallets right here.
Let's zoom in. Can you talk? I'm curious where this is in relation to where I went to school.
Yeah, look, there's pallets all over the place.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, I did not think that was going to happen.
Company.
So this is the exact spot we're actually going to all the murders.
Holy shit.
Tonight of the prostitutes are going to be here in this exact spot, which is still the pallet company.
That's wild.
It's the Joe Stein and Son Pallet Company right here, James Street. And he was living, let's see if the trailer's still there. This is crazy. Usually after 20 years go by, there's not really anyone there.
The same things.
I'm guessing they said south side. So I'm guessing right here would be where he was living.
That looks like a trailer.
I think he was living right here in this little area. And at night, since he would work in the morning, he would just lock the gate here, which this is a gate right here, and another gate right here, and it would just be all him. So if he would invite you over to do some heroin or crack or whatever, or just get drunk and have sex, then you would technically be locked in by a fence. And in the Metheny versus State documentary, the attorney actually used the words, there were, quote, thousands of pallets. No, he said literally thousands of pallets stacked up. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Because if you wanted to run, let's say he goes crazy and tries to kill you, you got to jump over all these fucking pallets. And these things are huge. I mean, these things are like 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, they're stacked.
Like, I mean, how are you going to get onto the other side, you know? Running this way. Let's say you run out of the trailer this way. You're going to have to jump up these fucking pallets.
Well, you kind of use them as ladders. Each pallet is a step for a ladder.
That's crazy that I honestly didn't think that would be there now. But that's where we're going. And Washington Street is right out here. This is James Street. Wait, no, this is James Street. So I'm thinking this is Washington. I know it's right off here. All right, so forklift driver, you saw exactly where he worked, 3200 James Street. Heroin addict. Jen, stop hitting the microphone.
I'm sorry.
He drank Southern Comfort. He served in the Army. Now, he was, by all accounts, intelligent at one point. And this said this in the affidavit, which is so ridiculous. It says, quote, once he took a physics course. End quote. Like, doesn't mean you're smart. I mean, I read books about that shit, but that doesn't mean I'm fucking smart.
I took a physics course. It was the only
exactly my point. Exactly.
The last time I took a physics course was in high school because it was a requirement. Science was always my worst subject.
Physics was the only class that I dropped in college.
Now, this is interesting. He broke from his family in the 1970s after leaving for the Army at 18 years old. So 18 years old, he leaves for the Army. And he drifted in and out of Baltimore homeless camps, and he was living under bridges, and he was living in sewer grates for a long time. Now, the homeless thing is extremely important because if you're also a drug addict, you need to find a way to make money. Just keep that in mind.
Right.
There's a entrepreneurial aspect to this case. Shit. All right. He was a normal boy. That's what his mom says. He loved to ride his bicycle when he was growing up. Above average student, always polite. His mom said, quote, he wasn't a mean kid at all. He was just always polite to everybody, end quote. It's the fucking drugs. Now, when
Was that a quote, or is that what you just said?
No. But she does contribute his distance to the drugs.
Now, sorry to go back, but did the pallet company know he was living on the lot?
Yeah. They wanted him to live there because it's basically security.
Okay.
I mean, you have a 600 pound man. Like, who's gonna fucking come in there and steal pallets?
He doesn't look as fierce here.
That's him and he's old and is in prison. Now, he was interviewed and he had a lot to say about his mom.
I feel like John Goodman can play him in a movie.
Yeah. I watched a John Goodman movie the other day, the one where
The Big Lebowski?
No, he's in a bunker. The Cloverfield Lane, yeah.
You watched it the other day?
Yeah. I do things by myself.
I was going to say, we watched it together
I watched it a little bit of it the other day.
a couple of years ago.
It's a good movie.
We should watch The Big Lebowski after this.
I've seen it too many times. He does look like John Goodman a lot, though.
Yeah, good call, John.
He didn't have too much to say about his mother at all, besides the fact that she was dead. However, media...
I'm sensing some Edmund Kemper type issues.
Maybe dead to him.
So he's in prison after he gets arrested in 96. He's like, I don't have a mother anymore. She died. The media news, they actually go and find the mother, who is very much still alive.
Very much alive. Okay.
Very much still alive. She's very much still alive, and she says, quote, maybe he just wishes I was. He pushed his family away a long time ago, end quote. He was one of 6 children. Now, here's where his stories conflict, because the mother has a different story. He says he grew up in a poor West Virginia family, which is true. However, he claimed he was neglected by his family and shuffled in and out of foster homes, which is not true.
Oh.
Because not only does the mother say it's not true, but the other 5 siblings say it's not true. So he is literally just making this shit up. So the mother says that he was a normal boy and that he was smart and had a good childhood. If he was neglected, it was his own fault. It was a pretty good home, end quote. None of the children were fostered. His father was killed when he was only 6 years old in a drunk driving accident. The mother was the sole person that kept the whole family together. 6.
Sounds like a strong woman.
6 kids together. Quote, we weren't rich, but we always had something to eat and a roof over our heads. And I never went on welfare. End quote.
Wow.
Good for you.
So
I'm not saying that going on welfare is bad. I'm just saying, like, you did all of that and didn't have to do that.
I know.
Need any type of
Here's the thing. This is the drugs, man. They fuck you up. You got to just drink. Don't be on drugs. Drugs.
Well,
I know a lot of guys.
What are you saying? So people who are addicted to alcohol have it better than people who are addicted to drugs?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, it's different though. Drugs.
Alcohol is a
You
drug.
don't see someone on the street sucking dick for alcohol. You see him sucking dick for his high of heroin or crack.
No, but you see people on the street who have alcohol, and
if you were living on the street, you'd be drinking too. Ain't nothing else to do. I'm just saying.
I mean, but that would be my recreational activity.
The drug addiction is a lot more powerful, in my opinion, because there's people stealing from their parents. They'll kill their parents to get a little piece of jewelry to pawn so they can get a hit. You know, they'll do things that you wouldn't do just to get drunk.
Well, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it may not be like there are things that you have to do extra to get the drugs, because especially with them being illegal. But I would have to say addiction is a demon that a lot of people deal with, and a lot of people, you know, struggle with alcoholism and are on the streets because of it. I don't know if they're, you know, prostituting because of it, or excuse me, or sex workers because of it, or are...
Well, as the cases we've done, we know the economics of prostitution, right? So a blowjob would literally be the exact amount of a hit of whatever. The prices reflect each other. So, but you never see that, or the cost of a blowjob is 2 shots of Southern Comfort. Like, you don't see that. That's ridiculous.
It's interesting. Though. I've never really thought about it that way.
I haven't either. But like, what about people that are in a bar? It's like, okay, well, buy me a drink and I'll, you know, do whatever.
That's
touche.
I mean, that's different, though, man. I don't know.
I mean,
they'll do whatever, but they ain't gonna do whatever like someone that wants to get really high. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it depends on it depends on how strong their addiction is.
They wouldn't do poo-poo stuff, pee-pee stuff, maybe pee-pee stuff.
Okay, I think that's irrelevant to this conversation.
I think he just wanted to say poo-poo and pee-pee out loud again.
Let's talk about his prior arrest. Most of them were common assault, drunken disorderly conduct, and barroom fights. I mean, don't we all? I'm just kidding. I never get caught. Stab, and then bolt. Shit.
Did I ever tell you about the time that my dad got pistol whipped?
What?
Back in the day?
He probably deserved it.
When?
This is like in the 70s, I think, because he was in the army still.
Oh my gosh!
He was probably doing that
on the States, in the States, or
in Boston.
He probably got hit by an enlisted guy.
No, it was at a bar. He was on leave, and there was this guy. He was a fighter or a boxer, and he said something to him, and one of his people pistol whipped him. And he woke up the next day. He was like so hungover, and he had a shirt wrapped around.
Did he learn anything?
Have you learned anything?
I never got pistol whipped. I got punched a lot.
He hit the guy. He knocked the guy out, and then
who was a boxer.
No,
Yeah.
That's just what he's telling you.
Possibly. That's entirely possible.
Unless he went up right behind him with a bar stool, he fucking got his ass kicked.
I don't know. My grandfather was a boxer.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, let's talk about this. His army service, he joined at 18. This is 1973. He was stationed in Germany. He tells his attorney that he became addicted to heroin while serving in Vietnam. However, the mother says he never went to Vietnam. But then again, he did kind of stop talking to the mother when he was 18. His service records have never been released.
That's what I was going to ask.
We don't know if he went to Vietnam or not. But judging by his other, claims of his mother being dead.
But we do know that he was in the service.
He was in the service, yeah. And that's all. Like, what you can see that he has records, but you can't see the records type of shit. You know what I'm saying? His mother claims he never went to Vietnam, and she says, quote, he just kept drifting further and further away. I think the worst thing that ever happened to him was drugs. It's a sad, sad story. The M.O. of this guy, Joe Metheny, he was a common laborer after the army. He was obviously addicted to heroin. I don't know if he got addicted to heroin in Vietnam. I don't even know if he was in Vietnam.
Okay, so that's an interesting part that's unclear.
Yeah, that is unclear.
You would think that that's an easy thing to validate.
What do you mean?
Whether someone was in Vietnam or not.
But yeah, like my military records, you can't just go and look at them. Or anyone's.
No,
What do you mean? You can't just go and look at someone's military records?
I'm just saying the fact that like somebody says he was and someone says he wasn't.
No, he says he told his attorney he got addicted to heroin there.
Well, they use opiates over there.
But
they use opiates in Afghanistan. I know a lot of guys that were fucked up on that shit. I never touched it.
Good job. Proud of you.
I
I'm
smoked
serious.
a shit ton of fucking hashish, but I never touched that fucking
What is
heroin.
hashish?
Just weed.
it's the potent.
They just grow
It's like
weed
the
over there.
seed,
But I
right?
know there was a lot of guys that I served with that were on the fucking
Opiates?
sauce or whatever.
Sauce.
Not the sauce, but the opium and the fucking heroin.
So no, I'm just saying. I think it's
And they were
interesting that
fucked up,
he
too.
says he was. His mother says he wasn't.
But we don't know because they weren't
We
talking.
don't know. Huh? Yeah. We don't know because at 18 he leaves, and for some reason he just doesn't talk to his mom. The mom that has busted her ass, loved the 6 children, didn't give him much but couldn't give him much. The father dies when he's 6. There's no reason for him to have this animosity. She blames it on the drugs. You know, I don't know why maybe it's because he's got 6 other children, or maybe it's because he's got 5 other siblings and he wasn't as close. I know, like, my mom would actually come fucking find me at the military base if I didn't fucking call her. You know what I'm saying? She'd fucking march in there.
I could see that too.
The guards would be putting their guns down.
been?
Oh, hold on. I'll just put this.
Where have you been, John Perry?
But I don't know if it's because there's so many siblings, but he just completely cut contact with all his family. He told his attorney he was addicted to heroin overseas. He got addicted to heroin somewhere, whether it was Vietnam or not. I don't know. Your dad served in Vietnam. I guess he can say if there's a lot of people who got addicted to that shit.
I mean, I don't know.
I didn't know that was an issue in Vietnam.
Oh yeah. You know what's funny? When I go to the VA quite a bit, and you go to the VA and everyone wears hats of their service, right? Korea or Desert Storm. You
gonna wear one?
No, but you know the one. You know the Vietnam vets because they're not wearing hats; they're wearing bandanas. It's so fucking crazy. I'm telling you, I promise. They're all
depends. Yeah.
wearing these tie-dye bandanas. They all do that shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you go to the VA, it's just fucking sad going to VA, man.
Yeah.
So many
Yeah.
people with no legs and shit. I'm like, ugh, it's depressing as fuck. Anyway, so I don't know if he was in Vietnam or not. I doubt he was. I mean, Vietnam was bad for anyone that was over there, apparently.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he was infantry or not. I don't know his MO. No one, or MOS. No one knows his MOS, his job in the Army. So I don't know.
Okay.
His MO, he hangs around Washington Boulevard in South Baltimore. He talks to the prostitutes and the heroin users. He preys on drug addicts, mostly crack, a lot of heroin, many being prostitutes. Not all prostitutes. You know, the newspaper made that very specific, but, you know, mostly. And his kind of style of attack is, quote, brutal sexual assaults that seem to suggest a psychotic aggression, end quote. This may be some Agent Orange type of shit.
Could be.
Melted his brain.
It could be.
His attorney said, quote, he describes it as a rage that comes forward through drugs. He describes being very frustrated, too, about how he grew up and the life experiences he had, end quote. But keep in mind, how he grew up wasn't bad. I mean, This is not only corroborated by the mother, but all his siblings, too, you know? He says, quote, my murder rampage started out as revenge and killed 5 fucking people, but ended up as a passion for the taste of blood and the overwhelming sense of power one gets for taking the life of another. What do you guys think about that?
Cry.
This is 26-year-old Kimberly Spicer. Her mother says, quote, going by the MO, she's addicted to heroin. Kim had her problems, but she was a battler, always struggling with her problems and hoping to turn the corner, end quote. Now, her older sister actually knew Joe. He would come in and order drinks. What kind of drinks do you think he would want?
Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort. He would come and order some Southern Comfort from her sister at the bar. And, quote, he was so mannerly, saying thank you and please all the time. My sister once said she even felt sorry for him, end quote. No, he was a big boy, so he's not picking up too many chicks, I don't imagine. You know what I'm saying? She was found stabbed to death on December 15th, 1996, under the pallets in the pallet yard. He just threw her in there. Basically, he's addicted to drugs. He doesn't really concern himself with hiding bodies too much. He just threw her under the pallets there. There was also 3 other suspected burials there, but they didn't actually go and dig up anything else. Now, the last night of her life, she was killed in November. She got in an argument with her mother. She stormed out of the house. She was upset that her aunt had just died of a heroin overdose. The mother saying, "Hey, you're going down the same road as my sister. My sister is dead. You just saw her body in her casket, and now you're going to go out and continue to use." She was pissed about that. She left. The mother said when we had an argument, she would leave but always come back. However, this night, she never came back. She was one of 4 children. Joe Metheny took her to the trailer, the pallet trailer, and her blood was actually found there. He actually had tried to enlist the help of a friend, another homeless person, who actually testified against him to help him bury the body. The second victim that he was convicted for, and we don't have a picture of her. I could not find a photo of her. She's 45 years old. So this is there's no age limit. One was 26, the next is 45. She had numerous convictions of prostitutions. Her name is Catherine Magaziner, 45-year-old prostitute living in South Boston. She's actually found decapitated.
Oh,
whoa.
They met in early July. He takes her back to the trailer. Now, this is on July 4th. Takes her back to the trailer and has sex with her consensually. Okay. And then an hour later, he sees her purse. Obviously, they're both high on crack or heroin. He sees her purse and wants it and just strangles her. Okay, if you want to read this. This is from Metheny versus the state of Maryland.
Within an hour of taking Miss Magaziner to his trailer, the defendant used his hands and an extension cord to strangle Miss Magaziner. When Detective Pennington asked Metheny, "How did you strangle her? Did you strangle her with your hands?" or Metheny responded, "With my hands." Detective Pennington further questioned, "Did you use anything else?" Metheny answered, "I used an extension cord. I took the end of the cord, strangled her. She was passed out, and I put the rope around her neck, an extension cord, and killed her."
Now, really quick, how we know a lot of this stuff, obviously he opened up like a book, but there was one survivor of his attacks, and this is a good way to know exactly what it's like doing crack with Joe Metheny. Her name is Rita Kemper, and we don't have a photo of her either. She was a surviving victim. She said in court, quote, "You could see the evil in him." She said she was in the trailer. They were partying, doing drugs, having sex, whatever. And suddenly he would snap just like that. This is the drug snap, kind of like Anthony Sowell. Remember when he would snap and then the prostitute, I remember one would kind of deflect and be like, "Oh, I don't like it like that," or whatever. And he would just kind of come out of it. It's the same thing. So it's like a drug snap and they're in a different mindset. I can't explain it. But anyway, she says, quote, "Whatever Tiny," that was his name, Tiny. Whatever Tiny wanted to do that night, he was going to do, she said, tearful and shaking. "He told me I could scream as loud as I wanted to. I knew that he wasn't going to let me out of there alive. I wasn't letting this man take my life from me without a fight." And she says that Metheny, Tiny, told her, quote, "I'm going to kill you and bury you in the woods with the other girls," end quote. Metheny strikes her twice in the face and orders her to take her pants off, but she runs out of the trailer door and he's chasing her. She starts scaling the pallets like a ladder, like Jen said earlier, like a ladder. He pulls her pants off in the trailer, and she actually escapes. She actually escapes to the window, and then she starts scaling the pallets. This is his exact words. Quote, I got her in there and started to rip her clothes off and knock the hell out of her. She was screaming. I just kept laughing at her. That bitch, and then, end quote, when she gets out of the window, this is what he says, quote, that bitch scaled those pallets like a monkey and jumped the fence and ran down the main road, end quote. So that's how basically he got caught.
It's like he's bragging about it, the way he's, like, the words he's using and everything.
Yeah. As we talked about earlier, Joe Metheny, even though he was working in the pallet, even though he was working at the pallet company making $7 an hour, he was homeless and he was only temporarily living there, but he would travel around with bands of homeless people. However, he was also addicted to heavy drugs, so he needed to make money, and being a male, and quite a big male, he's not going to make that through prostitution. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to find a way to make money somewhere. Now, these two victims we talked about, Kathy Magaziner and Kimberly Spicer, he decided, well, they're dead anyway, and I need money. So if you want to read this is actually from the Joe Metheny versus the state of Maryland.
This is where the 4th of July comes in, doesn't it? I've been waiting for this part because we haven't talked about it, why he's the cannibal something or other.
Wow, you look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
He told the court at his trial, I cut the meat up and I put some in Tupperware bowls and put it in a freezer. He then claimed he mixed the women's flesh with some other animal meat and sold them in to paying customers.
So he was a street vendor for, you go down the road and
so
people are selling
have like gyros
watermelons and all kinds of shit. He's selling burgers.
He said, I opened up a little open pit beef stand. I had real good roast beef and pork sandwiches. They were very good.
I'd probably want to try one.
The human body taste was very similar to pork. If you mix it together, no one can tell the difference.
So at least those two victims, if not a lot more, he actually made a lot of money selling the meat. This is one of the
like
burgers.
Willie picked it. No, like that's one of the actual ones?
No, I'm just
oh my
joking.
God, fuck you.
Oh my God, I literally was about to vomit.
I was like, I'm so glad we ate Impossible Burgers today.
Legit.
So that it was at least vegan.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, technically vegetarian because we put cheese on it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
I was going to get so upset if that was an actual picture. Like, I can't.
That was a rare burger.
So basically he Sweeney Todded his victims there.
Yeah, legit.
I've not
it's crazy.
seen Sweeney Todd.
And it's
Really? It's good.
The crazy thing about this story is it's not well known, and I've never seen anyone to say.
So is the whole situation, he's selling this on the 4th of July?
Yeah, because he killed these victims
On July 2nd.
Yeah,
Put them in Tupperware, put them in the fridge,
and he would
them.
stand out there, when he's not working and sell these burgers. And apparently they were really popular. Even cops would come up and go get some of the burgers. No one knows how many people he killed. It's probably quite a bit.
I mean, it was 5 in a day.
Yeah, 5 in a day, and that was just because he was in a bad mood. Anyway, his sentencing, he was serving 2 life sentences without parole. He was
only
actually
2?
Only 2 because
awfully light.
They're, like I said, the police, and I see this a lot too in these cases, the police and law enforcement will